Hey guys, so something a little different right now. I used to do these things back in the day where it was like just a talk kind of thing because, it's Mario Kart. It's not that complicated, and when you're trying to play a game and focus, it's kind of hard sometimes to talk about shit. So, um, I was doing it with Mario Kart 64, and then I upgraded to Mario Kart DS, but that was like 5, 6 years ago, pretty much when I first started. Now, keep in mind, obviously, because the hardware difference, it might not lag, but like have a little hiccups and all that, but don't mind it. Remember, this is an emulator, so things are a little different, but it should run fairly smoothly, I think. Um, but yeah, I used to do these back in the day, but that was back when, I didn't have any subscribers, so hopefully a few more people will watch it this time, I think. Um, but yeah, it is freezing out today. I've got my space heater on right now. That's how fucking cold it is. It's the end of fucking April, and I've got my space heater on. Last night I was freezing, and I'm like, should I turn it on? Should I turn it on? But essentially, I just froze last night because I'm like, I'm not turning it on. It's freaking end of April. Come on, come on. So I ended up not turning it on. Worst mistake. I really should have, but I might have woken up to everything turned off back here because unfortunately the wiring isn't that great. So basically, if I was to have it on and like my roommate or something, like my roommate used like the microwave, everything turns off. So, and I don't want that to keep happening because that eventually can, short circuit and sparks and I don't need the whole fucking house going up in flames. And it's like, well, tell the landlord, get the wiring. It's like, she said it was just replaced not too long ago, that they rewired everything. And yet, it still keeps happening. But whenever she hires someone, they always fucking half-ass it. Every time she has someone come over here to fix something and replace it, oh, they'll replace it, but then there's always something that happens with that one, like a day or so after they fix it. So it's like they fucking half-ass it. And it's fucking annoying. She doesn't like having to spend money. She's like, well, I don't have the money for this right now. She replaced the stuff in the bathroom, like the floor was collapsing and all that. And basically, she couldn't afford it, so she basically made us pay for it by raising our rent, which is illegal, by the way. But, yeah. It's, but yeah, it's cold out today. It's just kind of awkward because it's kind of like in Texas when it gets cold. Like, you don't expect it and you don't know what to do because you're not used to it. I'm used to the cold, but in Texas, man, that was bad. Like, when it gets cold in Texas, it gets cold. I was at SeaWorld, I was working the, games in in the winter. It was, Christmas time. And they decorate real nice for Christmas. It looks so nice. But, yeah, take that, you Birdo bitch. But, yeah, it was freezing out. I remember, like, one of the days I was there, it was not only cold, it was like 30 degrees out, but it was fucking raining. And, I mean, luckily enough, I had a manager who was really, really cool. He was only, like, a year or so older than me. So, but I was talking to one of the kids, but yeah, they were kids who worked there. They were like fucking 16 years old. But one of the kids next to me, the game next to me, we were talking, and he could clearly tell I was in pain because, I've got like fibromyalgia or something because I'm in pain all the fucking time. This started when I was 18, but he could clearly tell I was in pain. So he went to talk to Mark, and who's the manager. Oh, hi, Mark, and comes back and he's like, Mark said you can take off if you want. I'm like, what? He's like, well, you're clearly in pain and it's dead right now, so he said you can take off if you want, and I got it covered over here. And I'm like, okay. But then I'm walking home because I only lived like a 15-minute walk from from SeaWorld, from the back gate, the employee entrance. So I would walk home and walk to work. But that day was fucking freezing out. And so I'm walking, I'm like, ah, ow, 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 ow. Because basically, it feels like, I mean, I couldn't bend my knee all the way. It basically felt like someone was taking all the tendons and ligaments and just, like, pulling them and, like, them holding it like this. And with, like, you know, like, here's my knee, you know, and where it bent. It feels like there was like a fist right there, and I could not bend my knee all the way. And it was painful. How painful was it? Let me put it this way. I can tolerate pain. But the kind of pain that it caused was enough to make normal people cry. That's how fucking painful this shit was. And I dealt with it every fucking day. Um, I mean, I'm still dealing with it. Like I said, I've been in pain since I was fucking 18. Like, go see a doctor. Yeah, I can't afford a doctor. Would love to go see a doctor. But I can't afford one right now. I mean, we have free clinics, obviously, but it's like they want stupid shit. They want bills and proof of residency and fucking, if you have a roommate, they want your roommate's information. It's like, why? My roommate doesn't give a flying fuck about me. She's not gonna give me the shit I need. It's like, I might as well just fucking deal with it. Like, get meds. It's like, tried, they don't work. But, yeah, it's cold. Which, like, I don't mind the cold. So I grew up in Jersey, the place where basically if it wasn't 4 feet of snow, it hadn't snowed enough. You know, people around here, when it starts to snow out, they get fucking retarded. They're like, oh my god, what do we do? It's like, you drive in it. But they get all stupid. Luckily enough, there's really usually no accidents, but they're still stupid. Was it last year? No, it was either last year or the year before that. Take that, you princess bitch. That's for fucking with Mario's heart. It was like a year or so ago, right near the house, like right out there on the street. It wasn't a crash, but like, I don't know, I guess one car was trying to make way for the other. It was two trucks. I guess they were trying to make way for each other. And they like ended up bumping into each other. It wasn't like a smash kind of thing. It wasn't like, it was just like, their noses were essentially just touching. But yeah, that stuff doesn't really happen around here. I've been here for 6 years, and I think I've seen maybe 1 or 2 car accidents. So it's car-wise, it's fairly safe. Even when it starts to rain and shit, and or snow, and people start acting fucking retarded, it's pretty safe. And then you get to Charlotte or Concord, and then yeah, that's when the shit hits the fan. That's when you realize that people are stupid. Ah! Take that, you Birdo bitch. I'm going to get in front of you, whether you like it or not. Told you. Anything good? No, I didn't see anything coming from that. But yeah, I mean, Charlotte, this place, you know, my brother was asking me about North Carolina and where I live, because he was scouting out areas to live with him and his wife. And I'm like, why would you want to move here? It's like, well, what reason would you have to move here in particular? I mean, apart from me, which you have a person you haven't seen in 10 years, like, what would be the reason for you to move to North Carolina specifically? Like, go be boring somewhere else. But I told him, I'm like, Charlotte, there's a good side of Charlotte, and then there's the bad side of Charlotte. The good side of Charlotte is nice, obviously. Then the bad side of Charlotte, which is right next to the good side, the bad side has bullet holes and school buses. So, I mean, there's that. So, I mean, I don't know why people would want to raise their kids on the bad side of Charlotte. I mean, there was a mall that had to be shut down completely because there were too many fucking gang shootings going on. We don't want to blame any certain groups of people here, but when when a mall has to be shut down because there have been too many gang fights going on, yeah. We know the kinds of people doing this shit. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, it ain't the white people. Charlotte is a very liberal city. So, it ain't the white people, I'll tell you that much. But the nice side of Charlotte is really nice. There's a lot to do there. But, Concord's nice. I mean, we went out of town the other day. We went to Locust. We had to go to Walmart. Because our Walmart is pretty fucking stupid and doesn't have a lot of things. And, so my friend was like, hey, do you want to go to Walmart and Locust with me? I'm like, okay. I mean, I was basically in between being, like, in between awake and sleep. And, I saw her text, and I'm like, oh, it's been like an hour, hasn't it? Because I saw 1. I'm like, it's like, oh, it's been like an hour already. And it's like only a minute. I'm like, okay, I still have time before she thinks I'm ignoring her. Congratulations! Wow, it knows my name already. That's creepy. But, yeah, she's like, you want to go to Locust? And I'm like, okay. So, and then I spend the night because normally, you know, they don't feel like driving me home when it's like fucking 9 o'clock at night. So I just stay the night, and she gave me a whole shitload of food, like stuff that they weren't eating. I mean, I've got like a bag of Flaming Hot Doritos, a big thing, like a whole big fucking thing of peanuts. These, which are really good, these goldfish veggie crackers. I got what is it? Cheesy tomato. Whole big fucking family size box of Great Value cheese crackers. This whole thing is filled like with fucking granola bars and graham crackers. And it gave me like 4 or 5 freaking pounds of pasta and ramen, and it's just, I mean, this whole thing of cotton candy is just, it's crazy. Oh, not to mention from Ollie's 2-pound bag of gummy bears. I'm like, dude, you're fucking spoiling me. She's like, yeah, you know, I don't. It's all this stuff that we're not eating. We buy it, but then we don't eat it. You know, she's in Virginia. She's got friends in Virginia, and then her husband, who is there, just eats out most of the time. You know, like he'll get Wendy's or something like that. So he's not buying food. So when they buy food, it just sits there. So she's like, well, you know, because he said something. It's like, well, I'm giving it to him. It's just sitting there and no one's eating it. You know, it's like, he said he didn't care about expiration dates, which I don't. When I first got here in 2008, I was living with her and her parents, and they really didn't have, I mean, they fed me and everything, and they would buy for me and stuff, like, whatever they had, I had. But for the most part, I was kind of on my own. So there was a whole shitload of stuff in the freezer, and some of it had been in down there for ages. So much so that it was caked in, you know, frostbite galore. I was eating that shit. It's like, you know, that's not safe. Well, I don't care. I don't care. I've got like a fucking iron stomach. So she's like, yeah, he said he doesn't care about expiration dates. Wait, I think some of this stuff went bad last year, but I've been munching on it. I'm perfectly fine. Like I said, iron stomach. At 33 years old. This is kind of stuff you do when you're a teenager, you know, when you can afford it. But, you know, especially when I was a teenager living on base, the free healthcare and all that. Not when you're 33 years old with no medical or anything. Probably not best to eat things that have expired that long ago. But I don't care. Food is food. And I hate wasting. You know, being when I was a caterer at SeaWorld and we had to waste food, I got so fucking pissed off at that shit. I was like, why are we not donating this shit? Like, people got sick. It's like, okay, so you'd rather have the guests get sick, the ones who are paying like $100 fucking each to be here, over some homeless dude? Sure, yeah, let's prioritize. And they're like, well, you know, storage or reheating. It's like, I've been to what do you call it, like a Christian ministry type thing. It's not like they just leave food out. You know, they pack it in places where it's supposed to be. So if you take, I don't know, the bacon and sausage and eggs and everything that were, made and give it to them, they can put it in the proper place. It's not going to cause any bacteria to grow. They're not going to get sick. Like I said, I'm pretty sure even if the homeless dude got a little sick, pretty sure he'd be happy to have some fucking food in his stomach. I'm just saying. Because when I was at SeaWorld, they were getting rid of pounds of fucking bacon and sausage, and it was just a shame. Like, we would eat as much of it as possible afterwards, because it was, all the events were buffet style, so it was basically help yourself. We just replaced the pans and everything when everything was gone. But, and then after the event ends, before we broke everything down and put it away, we would all sit down and we would eat whatever we could, so that way, regardless of where it was, the performers would come over, the security guards would come over, they would just kind of get what they want and then they would leave. But us, we would all sit down kind of like a family, eat together, we'd have a good time. It was fun. Me being the oldest probably was also made it a little easier. I was there to uphold the line. I was pretty much the oldest. Out of all the supervisors, I wasn't a supervisor, but I was the oldest. Everyone else was like a year or two younger, so they all looked at me like I was a fucking old man, even though I was like 23, 24. They're like, John, you're old. I'm like, yeah. There was only one person in our group that was older, who was like the manager. His name was Kevin, and he was like 30 something, but he was bald. I don't know what that has to do with anything. It was just, but he was okay, but he was like pretty harsh sometimes. Like, this is like we had a event where we had to wear our tuxedos, and it was like 100-something degrees, and I didn't bring my tux because they never told me that it was a tux event. I get there, and the guy, Hector or Gary? I can't remember which one, but one of them was like, did you bring your tux? I'm like, no. It's like, weren't you told, didn't someone text you and say it was a tux event? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, well, go to wardrobe and ask for a tuxedo, and, So I went down to wardrobe and got what I needed. The shirt didn't fit, though. They didn't have my size, so I had to take a size smaller. Bad idea. Because, we had to button up every button, even the one that's like basically around your neck. So I had to button that shit, and it was basically choking me. So the entire night I was like, and like I said, I can't remember, Gary or Hector. I think they were both there actually, but I think it was Hector. He's like, John, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you can unbutton. I'm like, no, if I unbutton it, Kevin's gonna come over here. He's like, you gotta button it up, buddy. That's what he'd do. He would say buddy to you. So I was like, yeah, if I do, Kevin's gonna come over and be like, gotta button up, buddy. But it was an alcohol event. I was like, most of these people aren't gonna even fucking remember what I looked like anyway, so I seriously doubt that it's gonna matter if I didn't wear the, shirt correctly. These guys are gonna be like, you're really cute. Hey, lady, you wanna go with me or something? Like, I'm a guy. Like, they're gonna be so drunk, they're not even gonna know what fucking planet they're on. So, but, yeah, so the entire night, it was, I'm not gonna say well worth it, but, doing that kind of stuff, that event had some really good food in it. It had, like, chicken wrapped in bacon. It had little beef Wellington pocket type things. They're like beef Wellingtons, but like little tiny pockets. It was really good. So we would all just go into the back and just kind of eat the food out of the trays, because I'm like, we knew no one was going to eat all of it. We knew how much was going to be there at the end of the night. And, yeah, so we just kind of picked off it every time we went back there. We would find reasons just to go back there, because sometimes we would work 12 hours or so before we got to eat, because when you're doing those events, you don't get a break. So it would be 12 hours or so before we got to eat. So yeah, we would pretty much eat whenever we could. So every time we went back there, you know, have a little something, something. Take one or two of the hot little pockets, or one or two of the chicken wrapped or bacon wrapped chicken. You know, just because. I mean, we would get there 9 o'clock in the morning, and we wouldn't leave till about 2 a.m. So we were working a long fucking time. That's what, 14, 15 hours or so? Maybe more. So, you eat when you can. It doesn't matter if they say you're not allowed to. You eat when you can. Same thing, we're working the, not the stalls, but, you know, the stands and all that. Like, there was this one that had, like, these, like, sausage sandwiches. They were basically hot dogs, but the sausage they used, it wasn't a hot dog, it was a sausage. And this thing was the most delicious thing you've ever tasted. Like, this shit was fucking delicious. I don't know what kind of sausage it was. I don't know what kind of meat it was. I don't know what kind of spices they put into it. But this was the most delicious fucking thing I'd ever tasted. And I was cramming sausages down my throat. And I seriously thought I was gay at one point, because I was just... I was eating sausages like a fucking pro. But all jokes aside, no, this sausage was amazing. And the stand that we were working at was the most busy of all the stands on that little stretch of road, or walkway rather. I mean, technically you can call them roads, because they were, you know, trucks that would have to drive in there, or little carts or whatever. But they were walkways. But it was definitely the most busy. The food stands. There was like a popcorn one, like right next. Not next to us, but, you know, right across. But it was so fucking good. I mean, like, SeaWorld has some really good food. Like, they really did. Haha, that's what you get for going after Peach all the damn time, you asshole. Don't fuck with me, plumbers. Go to Shell! You will burn in Shell. Alright! Do you want to do that? But, yeah. Also, one of my favorite events was the Christmas cookies with Santa. And it's exactly what it sounded like. It was Christmas cookies with Santa. It fit like, the event had like, I don't know how many tables there were, but it's basically a couple people to each table. And they brought you out a big fucking tray of cookies and a large, like, whole gallon of milk. And it was really good. The cookies were really fucking good. Homemade, in the kitchen. The guy who they got to play Santa was really super nice. The once or twice, I didn't get to meet him every single time, but the one time I did actually get to see him, we actually talked, and he said he kept his beard all year long, so he would like take trips to like Hawaii and stuff, and you know, he's in his Hawaiian shirt with his Santa beard still, and all the kids are still running up to him like, oh my god, it's Santa. So he was a really nice guy. He had his phone, and he pulled his phone out, and he's like showing me his grandkids and all that. He was really nice. He was cool. I forget if Mrs. Claus was his wife, but the Santa was cool. But it was the trays of cookies. Jesus. And same thing, whatever people didn't eat, we got to eat. You know, waste not. So basically, after the event, we would just kind of take the cookies and put them all on one tray, whatever was left. And we would just, you know, as we're breaking shit down, we would have them on the table, and, you know, we would just... And they were pretty big. They were, like, pretty big cookies. And they were good. They were really good. Award ceremony already? Jesus. There we go. How much time? We got 24 minutes in. We can just do the last one, I guess. Let's go! Waha! Okie dokie! You won a gold trophy on the Flower Cup on 50cc. Balloon Coach. Mario time! We'll just stick with Koopa Troopa. I mean, it's 50cc, so it really doesn't matter. DK Mountain, Sherbert Land. There was also events that we had in the aquarium, which was pretty cool. But there's this one woman, her name was Maria Rosa or something. But she was so fucking depressing all the fucking time. Like, we didn't work with her all the time, but when we did, she was such a fucking downer. Like, we're talking, and somehow everything we were talking about, she had a story about, you know, her daughter being assaulted or fucking raped or something in that area. Like, we were talking about, oh yeah, I was at Walmart, and it's like, my daughter was assaulted in a Walmart bathroom. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, woman! Haha, Mario. Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! But yeah, we would be like, oh yeah, one person would be like, oh yeah, we were at, you know, I went to Six Flags the other day. It's like, oh, my daughter was beaten up by her boyfriend at Six Flags. It's like, fuck a doodle-doo. So this woman was such a downer, and people would be like, why does she keep bringing up her daughter and all the bad shit? It's like, we're trying to enjoy ourselves here. But, the aquarium was really cool. I only did, 2 events no, wait, I think it was 1 event. It was a Valentine's Day event. Like I said, it was really cool, because it was a freaking aquarium. How do you not like aquariums? Ooh, right in between. But, yeah, there was a few places that they would have the events. The dining with Shamu, you would have it behind where they do the shows. The Valentine's Day event would be in the aquarium. We had like, there was by the lake, we had to set up like 30-something fucking tables. Each of them were like solid aluminum, and I got fucking charged with basically lifting them all up. We had to keep going back and forth because they didn't have extra tables, so we had to keep going back to the picnic area where we had events, and then we had to keep putting them in the truck, and each of them weighed a lot, and basically we could only put in like 8 at a time, and we had to get, like I said, like 32 of them there. It was crazy. And of course, because I was bigger and stronger than everyone, I got stuck moving some of these tables by myself. All right. So it was really fucking annoying. I hated having to do some of that shit by myself. It's like, I understand I'm big, but I'm not the fucking Incredible Hulk. Like, yes, I am very strong. And I am very large, but I can't do all this shit on my own. You know, when I was a CNA, it was the same freaking thing. You know, you have a person, we had like someone who was 500 pounds, and you need to use the lift in order to get him up, and it's a 2-person process. But I would do it. I would have to do it by myself. And then when I mentioned anything about it, the administrator was like, "Well, we'll see if we can get you help." It's like, no, legally you have to get me help. That's the procedure. You need 2 people. And then if you were to accidentally drop them or something happened, you get blamed for it. It's like, I asked her ages ago for help. She said, oh, well, I'll give you help if it's possible. Oh, we'll find you help if it's possible. Rather than just saying, you know what, you're right. Nursing homes are terrible places. Never put your family there. They don't give a fuck. If you don't give a fuck about your family, then yeah, go ahead and put them there. But if you want your parents or your grandparents to be taken care of, don't do it. They're basically death homes. And it's not just like, oh, 1 or 2 bad experiences. Every place I've been to, every state I've been to, They all say the same thing when I ask about the nursing homes or bring up nursing homes. They're like, oh yeah, we've had deaths because no one wants to do their job. You know, around here, there's like 4 or 5 nursing homes. Same thing. No one wants to do their job. My best friend's grandma died in one of the nursing homes because they weren't taking care of her. So if you value the life of your loved ones, don't put them in nursing homes. You know, other countries, Japan, Europe, places like that, they really don't have nursing homes. They have enough respect for their elders to say, hey, you guys have taken care of us, now we're going to take care of you. So, yeah, maybe a little bit of a hassle, but it's between that or letting them die alone and untended to. So, you know, make your choice, people. Dun, 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 dun. Yoshi! Yoshi! Where are we at? 31 minutes. Nice. Nice. It's huge. Take that, you former bitch. I hope I've taught you not to go after the princess all the time now. Oh, you taught me a lesson, huh? It's time to teach you a lesson. Luigi, let's go get them. Luigi! I'm coming for you, nigga. The fucking racist Mario. I love that animation. That is so fucking good. If you haven't seen it, just look up racist Mario. I've done a reaction to it, but it's fucking hilarious. Freaking Mario gets the bullet bill, the power-up, and before he gets it, he's like, Luigi! And then when he becomes Bullet Bill, and he's like, I'm coming for you, nigga. I'm like, what the fuck? It's funny watching black people react to it because they don't get offended. They don't get offended. They fucking crack up because it's fucking hilarious. You know, people have this idea that, you know, most black people will get offended and that this word has so much fucking power over everyone. But no, these people are fucking cracking up. It's like the people who created this obviously were not black. So they should be like, man, I'm offended. But no, they fucking laugh because it's so out of place. It's so fucking funny. But yeah, racist Mario, look it up. It's just like, Luigi! I'm coming for you, nigga. And like his voice gets all deep and shit. This is great. And then fucking Kratos shows up. Oh shit, it's a Kratos! Fuck you, Kratos! He's Mario! Like I said, I've done a reaction to it. I don't know, I can't remember how long it was, but I've done a reaction to it. But just look it up. It's funny. It is funny. It is a good thing to watch. A double D. I like butter toast. That was those were good shows back, like Ed, Edd and Eddy and all that. Cartoons nowadays they all look the same. They've all got that lazy fucking like what's it called? Kind of animation like Adventure Time and Gumball and Teen Titans Go. There's a certain kind of animation style that it's called Cali animation or something like that. But it's all fucking lazy now. Look at stuff like fucking Rugrats. Like they tried to draw like somewhat realistically, but you know, you obviously could still tell they were cartoons. But all the styles nowadays are just so fucking lazy. I mean, yeah, we had The Simpsons and Family Guy and stuff like that, but now it's like every cartoon that comes out is the exact same style. Back then, we had several different styles. You know, it's crazy how fucking lazy people have gotten with animation. You know, and it's a shame because I love animation. You know, I love seeing the process of it. I like to see, you know, the time and dedication and basically the result of it. You know, when I see people drawing one picture and then like flipping back and forth to, you know, see, you know, okay, do I have it right? Okay, that one, I have to draw the arm a little to the left. And it's just, you know, it's fun to watch. And they have so much passion for it. But nowadays, it's like, oh, well, let's just go to the same lazy fucking art style. And people say, oh, it's because you can be more expressive, they can put more expressions in with minimal effort and blah, blah, blah. No. You were able to do that back in the day. And look at fucking, like I said, Rugrats and shows like that. You were able to get expression with complicated, well-drawn characters. It's just that these fucking people are lazy and they don't want to fucking do it. Hence why you don't see animated movies anymore. Everything's fucking CGI. You know, I would love to see more Disney movies that are animated, but now everything's fucking CGI. Pixar, all CGI. Every movie that comes out, CGI. It's just... Whatever happened to predictability? Milkman, Paperboy, Evening TV. This whole world's confusing me. Fucking Full House. I mean, it's one of the... Full House is one of those shows that you hate, but yet you still watch, out of like some sense of nostalgia or something. I mean, every time I watch it, I always turned it off right before they got to the whole meaning of the episode. As soon as you hear that crappy piano music start to play, you're like, oh, okay, I don't care about today's lesson. I really don't. Because this is how it was. You'd have some kind of problem in the episode, it'd be resolved by the end. The crappy music starts to play, one of them gives the kids a meaningful lesson about life, and then they end up with some stupid joke. It was the same thing every episode. So, but yeah, people still watched it. All the time. Wah! Come here, mushroom. No, never mind. I guess I'm not good enough for the mushrooms. It's a Wario. Waluigi, everybody keep about me. Waluigi. This was the last one, yeah? I think. It's good, because we were going on 40 minutes. Oh, gee, perfect run, as usual. Yay! I'm awesome at this game. Or somehow, I don't know. You won a gold trophy on Starter Cup of 50cc. You got the Power Wing. Waha! Let's go. Okay, so that's gonna do it for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Obviously, I can do more. I've still got, what, 2-3 more modes to play on. Like, as you can see, I can definitely talk a lot more because this game, even when it gets a little harder, it's still a brainless game. You don't really have to focus too much on it. So I can talk a lot easier playing this than I can play, you know, when I'm playing, like, I don't know, anything else. I mean, Genshin Impact, you can kind of talk a lot. Same thing with WoW. Because WoW is just like... But, other than that... But yeah, let me know if you guys... I mean, I've got this one. I've got the DS one. If you want to see Mario 64, I've got the Super Nintendo version. So, if it's Mario Kart, I've got it for the most part. And if I don't, I could probably just download it. Or... Let me know another game on the GameCube that you would want to see. You know? Just let me know below. But anyways, that's going to do it for me. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.